So, welcome to Super Mario Time Vlog Thursday.
I like it.
Yeah.
It's a good title.
Good title. See, as the place becomes more complete, more things come here. And I did a video before. I have a RetroPie, which is a lot of fun. And if you're not familiar with the project, I can, well, find it in my videos. I'll throw a link below. The RetroPie is a project that you take a Raspberry Pi and put retro games, and when Tom relives his childhood on it.
And tell us what a Raspberry Pi is.
Raspberry Pi is a very inexpensive little ARM-based computer. So this whole project to build the RetroPie and buy the controller, it's $120 maybe. But the reliving my childhood memories and playing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on NES, like I did with this guy when we were really small and we had Nintendos and Ataris.
Yes, yes indeed.
Yes, I've known Marvin that long.
Yeah, like the way like Atari 2600 days. Did you have a 7800?
Nope, just you did, didn't you?
No.
Who had the 78?
Must have been Jason.
Jason had everything.
I had the 2600 and I had the 800. That was like a computer. It was like a keyboard.
Oh yeah, he had that.
Yeah,
he had the 800.
Yeah.
So we relived our whole youth during that. So
it was fantastic.
We played so many. I played Asteroids a lot.
Oh, Asteroids was my jam.
Yes.
I was great at that game. I tried playing it like maybe a year ago, and I have lost my touch.
Yeah,
not nearly as good at it as I was.
But we're gonna relive a little of that here. So we've got more furniture. We got more places to put our butt,
which is important.
It's important places to put your butt. Very important. So the building's coming along. We got a grand opening. You know, last time we got the sign. There's like all these little details, and we're putting them all together. I'm making progress on everything, though. I feel that's what matters. Like
moving forward as you're still moving.
Last week it's a fridge. We got like one more shelf. So this is a really big table, and where's FreeNAS?
Right there.
We figure that's where all the crap is.
Yeah,
it's so close. It's like, but it was all the way over here, and then we pushed it back, and then but now that there's less crap over here now, so it's great.
We're working on it. We're getting there. I mean, it's a 10-foot table, and 4 feet of it. It's
4 feet of it. It's still a little.
It's a little junky, but that's all right.
And the reason for this is we have so many things. We got art projects we've been working on. These are all details that mean a lot to us in some way, for some reason. Steve is built, and we're gonna do arts and crafts with Steve video. I thought that'd just be a lot of fun because he has built some cool arts and crafts out of tech stuff, old processors, the motherboard lighting project. It's kind of been ongoing, but it's really cool.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start. I think he's getting ready to assemble now, so we're going to do some documentation on it, interim, because I thought about it after he built some of them. I'm like, oh wow, we should probably document some of that.
Yeah. There's certain things that you don't expect to hear when you work at a technology company. Like yesterday when Kyle and Steve said, Marvin, your wife's an art teacher. You know color theory. Come help us. And I'm like, what the heck do they need my help with color theory for? And it was working on the motherboard project. They legitimately needed the help.
Yeah. I mean, we thought about the schema by which we laid out the things.
It was impressive. It really is impressive.
Yeah. So it's pretty cool.
And there's nothing Steve likes more than lighting things up. Oh my goodness.
Oh yes.
He puts a lot of thought into how things should be lit.
We're going to, speaking of lighting things up and Steve, we will you've seen our Roman candle video probably?
Of course.
Maybe some of you have seen it.
Yes.
I don't think I've ever posted it on my channel. Maybe I should. Well, before I say I should, I will tell you we are making a bigger Roman candle shooting thing.
Oh boy.
And it's now that we have a drone, we're going to involve the drone. I haven't decided at what angle we can safely shoot at the drone, but I want to get some really cool flyovers without hitting my drone with it, because it's fire. You know, fire shouldn't hit my drone. Maybe I'll find a clip of it and insert a little piece of here to give you an idea what a Roman candle shooter is. But Steve was the one who crafted a lot of that project. And no, that was our beta. That was our test run. And we recorded it. It's on my personal channel, but I can bring it over here. And we'll talk about what it takes to build one and build a one to scale that we feel is adequate for us.
It's like Mythbusters, right? Like, we're like, okay, so it didn't work this way, but now we're going to build the biggest one ever because we're going to make this work.
Yes. We're having a grand opening, and the mayor's coming out and all that stuff. So once we make friends with all the city people we're friends with, just in case this goes wrong, because I actually want to do the video here of building the Roman candle shooter. So that way, when the police come, or if they come, if something goes awry, they could be like, weren't you just here with the mayor on the grand opening? I'm like, matter of fact, I was.
Sure enough. Yeah. Here's a screen capture of it. See how we're shaking hands? Very friendly. Very friendly.
Yeah. In the city where I live, I am friends with the chief of police on Facebook.
That's good to have.
They've seen some of my shenanigans and not commented. Is that plausible deniability?
I was going to say
cool?
Mainly for legal purposes.
Maybe for legal purposes. And I do post this. Our vlogs do get posted on Facebook. I don't know if the chief of police takes the time to watch my blog. She's a busy person. And then, by the way, very great police officer. We've been really happy. That's how I became friends with her on Facebook. Was an incident that they were just above and beyond with the city. So thank you very much if you do watch this. We are really appreciative of the police force there. Anyways, back to technology things. We have more projects with surveillance cameras and everything else.
That's really growing, like a lot. Like we're getting a lot of people that want security cameras.
Yes.
Which is good. Protect your stuff.
So one of the things, I just did it before Vlog Thursday because somebody was late getting here.
I wasn't so much late as, okay, yeah, I was late.
Okay, he was late. We usually do this at 8 a.m., but he wasn't here. And I was already in video mode in my head, so I recorded a video on the scalability of building your own UniFi NVR video system. Now, one of the problems I run into was there's not a lot of details on this, and we're trying to detail it. And I talk a lot about that with people. Is one of my goals with my YouTube channel is to give you the details to get something done. Everyone's like, oh, use this thing and contract us to set it up. And I'm always like, why don't I just show you the entire setup process? And if you want, you can contract us. I mean, that's great, but I'm not doing this just for a marketing ploy. It's more of, I love sharing technology, and by doing that, someone sometimes looks at the setup I did and go, hey, here's a better way to do it. And that's how you build community, that's how you build interest in this, and that's how we all get better at doing the things that we're doing here. Now, I just did the FreeNAS build, and I put it, I think it feels like a half hour long, roughly, I don't know. Anyways,
yeah, probably something like
that. Yeah.
I was gonna say it's sitting right over there.
The server here, it still hasn't been delivered. It gets delivered today because we do so much testing on them. And you know, I right away knew because I put that we use non-ECC memory, so there was going to be the age-old debate about that. I had my responses. I actually knew people would debate me on it, so I had my responses in a notepad. I'm like, when someone does this, here's my note on what to copy paste. Like they replied, I'm like, copy paste. I have an entire response for based on the argument that you present of how I'll present it back. You know, because we're passionate, we're techs, we're passionate about what we do. But the other thing, and I expected this as well, someone's like, well, you built it on not server hardware. I'm like, yes. Now, that comes down to clients. I have clients that have budgets. When you have clients that don't have budgets and we can just say, I want to build the ultimate, no problem. Let me build you an entire EMC storage array for your RAID. No problem, you have $50,000 to spend on this project. Most of my clients, now we have larger clients and we do some of those, and unfortunately I can't document everything we do for them because we're very conscious of client privacy, and some of them just say, you know, we prefer not having any details about our company revealed, and we're fine with that. Sure. But the small businesses are like, hey, do whatever, and most of the time you don't know their names because we're doing it here and kind of showing an overview, but we always ask permission if we do anything on site with them. But these clients have budgets, and those budgets sometimes are like, I have about a few thousand to spend on it. And someone's like, oh, you didn't build it with like enterprise NAS hardware. And I'm like, hey, there's a company called 45 Drives. They make really amazing storage arrays, and the base box, before I buy the hard drives, which were one of the more expensive parts of this project, costs more than the project. It's like, here's your $3,000 hardware box. Oh, and you have to buy hard drives for it. I would love to get an approval on that from this client. I know what they do for a living, and what they do for a living just doesn't pay enough to that. We're in Detroit, by the way. We are the Motor City. We are not the richest place where we're at. It is not like there. Yeah, the streets are not paved with gold, and we can't all afford giant RAID arrays of SSDs. I mean, we'd love to. It's a different market though, and that being said, we come up with solutions for the clients. Now, one thing about it, even if you build the nice enterprise storage array, yeah, maybe there's a little bit more reliability you're going to get out of it, but the other part of this project that's not really being covered as much, because it's not as relevant, but I mentioned it, is we have to build a second array on site to back this up. So that we're actually going to be reusing an old array they have and putting a few new drives in it, less redundancy, but it's going to mirror it. Because a lot of people don't realize this, and I've seen this happen on enterprise hardware. Granted, it's much left off them. Catastrophic failure that wipes out the entire system. So it's not a backup unless it's in two places. you know, it has to be in 2 places. Well, we're going to be 3 for this because we're doing, you know, on-site backup because they got about 8 terabytes of data they'll be storing on this within a year. And after that, it's backed up to the cloud, so to speak. The problem with backing up to the cloud is, you know how long it takes to get 8 terabytes back? We don't have fiber here in these areas either. Back to, we're Detroit, we don't have that. Oh, by the way, bandwidth caps and everything else that you deal with, if you get a couple terabytes a month in bandwidth, your one download is like, oh, by the way, not to mention the time. So that's kind of the overall project. I love using enterprise hardware. It's not like we're just trying to cut corners. I've heard it called like cowboy IT, where you just kind of whip something together and build it. Hey, that's fun, and we like doing some of that, but it comes down to providing solutions for the client.
And
that's
cowboys are cool.
Hey, cowboys are cool.
Cowboys are very cool. We should really be wearing hats, like cowboy hats and stuff.
Yeah. So there's still a lot of thought and planning goes into them. It just comes down to using resources we have to build something. So that's kind of my thoughts on that.
And it's still an impressive piece of equipment. I mean, it's 36 terabytes.
Yeah. There's still a lot of storage in there.
Yeah,
if you're interested in FreeNAS, watch the video. It's pretty cool. The thing that, because it's the same day I released the video, which of course the build occurs before then, there's now FreeNAS 11 out, but I don't trust it enough after the FreeNAS 10 debacle. Yeah, they left a lot of people stranded on that, so I'm waiting. It does have a clear upgrade path that I'm waiting before we do it. We'll probably do it in place at the clients, but because they're not using all the fancy features that come in FreeNAS 11, they don't care. It literally is one share for a lot of video files. And random drawings and stuff, because it's a civil engineering company. It's going to be filled with sewer videos. That's actually what it is. They have a camera that goes down like the big sewers and looks for stuff, and they have lots of project pictures when they're putting in new sewer lines. So that's really what this is a giant archive of sewer.
So when somebody says, hey, did you dump that crap onto the server, they really mean
they didn't dump that crap onto the server. Just saying.
Check out this crap on this video.
Look at crap on this video. Crap's backing up.
Right.
we have to back up the crap.
Backing up the crap.
We're backing up the crap to keep the crap from backing up.
Oh, this just got way meta for this early in the morning.
Way meta for this early in the morning.
Keep the crap backed up so it doesn't back up.
Yeah, so it doesn't back up.
It's Inception up in here.
Inception. So, that being said, I've also, I was on the Internet Advisor radio show, which was interesting because I've done podcasts. I do a podcast. I've been on other podcasts as a guest. But being on radio is weird because of all the ads. So that was different. So you got this little music that comes in the headphones that starts playing. It lets me know I got 15 seconds to wrap up whatever I'm saying because we're going to roll to an ad. That was kind of a fun learning experience. Then I was interviewed by the Daily Detroit.
Daily Detroit, yeah.
Which was really cool. Did an interview with them. And it's fun pulling up history of Tom. So they, they're reporters, they do the research, and I'm like, oh, wow, you read, I forgot I posted that. And it's just things I'd done in the past. And my past also revisited me on Tuesday, which was 2 days ago, because I was a photographer, and a lot of people don't know this. So I was not just a photographer, I was a wedding photographer. My stuff's been published. I've had photos in the knot. Which if you're at the wedding industry, it's a big wedding publication.
He's a very good wedding photographer.
I've done very, very well with wedding photography. I retired from it about maybe a year ago now. Last year was the last wedding I did. I just got really burned out. I've done hundreds and hundreds of weddings, but I had another friend who also retired from the business, and I finished liquidating the combination of equipment I had that I'd just been sitting on and all that. So it was actually fun. The people that I hang out with are getting into wedding photography, so I ended up having like an entire studio session with them, as I used to also be a trainer of photographers. I was the person who would bring them out, teach people how to do it, and it almost made me wonder, they're like, can you do a whole video series on this? Because I spent like an hour going over all the little details about doing it and sharing my experiences. So it's kind of funny just thinking about it, going, oh yeah, there's more past Tom.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah. And one more thing, and we're going to post this on our blog. So there's a local group, and they're amazing, called IT in the D for
Yes.
IT in Detroit. And we're friends with those guys. Bob and Dave run an amazing thing. They're networking one beer at a time.
Yes,
and they are,
for them, it's rarely ever one beer.
Yeah, one beer at a time. A bunch of beers per episode. They have a podcast. Watching Bob get passionately angry about things is epic. So I was on their podcast for their 200th show. They had they have a great A-list of geeky guests, which is awesome. We're talking like, people in the comic book world and some of the wrestling stuff they do. And they also have an ATM in their lobby, which is hysterical. I think you've seen pictures of that.
It just popped up.
Yep. Yep, it just kind of showed up. There's a whole thing. I want to do, if they can get it, we're waiting for some universal keys, so Dave is, and I told him I'm more than willing to help with the hacking of the ATM project for this, and so it's gonna be fun. I'm hoping if we can get this going, this would be a whole separate video. But back to the IT&D guys, listen to their podcast, listen to Bob rant about how angry he's about things, and it's so funny. Like, it's being on there with a bunch of techie guys and sharing a lot of geek humor. I was privileged to be on their show. It was great. I get to go on there and hang out once in a while, and we're all friends and it's good. But if you looking for a funny podcast, not deeply technical, but surface technical, because they cover tech topics, IT&D is a great podcast for that.
It really is. It really is. And like Tom said, Bob is so passionate about what he gets passionate about. So,
yes, that would be a good way to put it.
Bob
is passionate when he's passionate about things. So Bob ranting about something is really, really funny.
Oh gosh, yes. And
so Dave has his own. Dave's very he eggs Bob on. If Bob gets a little mad, Dave's like, "Oh,
yeah,
you seem so close to the ledge.
Yeah,
Let me just." So that was a lot of fun. I was on that show. That was on Monday night. They record every Monday night, episode 200. So that was really cool. And back to other things that we're doing. Mostly it's been sales because we're out of money.
Tom spent way too much moving.
Yeah, we got to
way too much.
So that kind of, I still am rocking out the videos, but it does, get out there, beat the streets, get the sales going. We got a good process for it, but it takes some doing, and I get distracted because I love making videos. And then there's tech things, and there's hanging out with Bob and Dave, and then there's like the hangover from Bob and Dave. So then Tuesday becomes a less productive day,
if productive at all.
I got the FreeNAS video done.
Oh well, all right. Well, that's something.
So we got that. Yeah. So, and I made an IKEA trip, so that was
excellent.
And we got furniture assembled, so those things did kind of happen.
Those mesh chairs are going to be dangerous around here. I will be napping in them, I guarantee it.
Yeah,
it's going to happen.
Napping in a mesh chair.
Yeah. Oh, and speaking of promotional stuff, we want to send out a thank you to Tim Summers of Bizarre Marketing for getting us some cool marketing materials, a bunch of sticky notes.
Just on those or something. I don't know. I want to come up with something clever. We have a bunch of sticky notes with our company logo on it. We're always looking for ideas and trinkets. I wish I had it here, but I think I left it at home. So everyone thinks this is a horrible idea with Tom and Microsoft. And I don't know what you guys think. It probably is a terrible idea. It's one of those ones I'm glad everyone said, Tom, you're an idiot. Because it did influence me this time. Normally I'm just like, I don't care, I'm an idiot, but I'm going to run into that wall. So I was at the Microsoft Build Conference a month ago, and they had pill bottles of jelly beans that said Azure and we're a cure for your ailments or whatever it was. I'm like, oh, I love jelly beans, and jelly beans and pill bottles seem like a great idea. And everyone's like, this is a horrible idea. And I'm like, I like it. Maybe it's because I like jelly beans, but it was like, Marvin's like people, you can't just drop these off, Tom, and be your IT service solution. I'm like, why not? Well,
because children will find them and be like, oh,
there's candy in these bottles.
These bottles have candy in them. Whenever I find them, I can just eat whatever's in it. Yeah, it's a terrible, terrible idea.
Yeah, so maybe pill bottles isn't the best idea. And I'd already had them in the wish list on Amazon. I found out what I could get pill bottles for. I had a plan for this.
Because that's exactly what we need, is that in our history is pill bottles.
Well, our Amazon search history is interesting enough.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a subreddit called Amazon WTF, and I click it a lot. And so the weirdest things end up in my Amazon search list. Like, you looked for this at one time. I'm like, no, oh, wait, no, I didn't. Yeah. Oh, I did, though.
Yeah, no, you totally did.
I did look at it from Reddit. They had a link to it, so now Amazon thinks I'm looking at whatever the weird thing it is. Maybe I should just do a video on all the Amazon WTF stuff, because it's really entertaining.
Yes, it is. Be amazed what you can get on Amazon. I had no idea.
Mm-hmm. Final and last thing we'll cover before we wrap it up here is I wanted to do the videos, and going to do the videos on how they got hacked. I actually reached out to some security friends. They're interested in it. They were rolling it over on how they want to present things to make sure we keep anonymity of clients, because there's so much with confidential and NDA stuff that gets involved in this. But it's interesting. I want to talk about some of the behind the scenes of how the security breaches occurred, and of course by knowing how they occurred gives you an opportunity to hopefully mitigate them with your company. So it's a little bit more of a serious thing, but I love the intricacies of it and things like that. So, and sometimes it's absurdities of what was done to get them hacked. So I'm looking for more stories. I only know, I only have a handful that I can kind of gathered, so I got to work out all the technical details exactly how to do it, but I want to present it really well. So that's about it for Vlog Thursday. Anything you can think of, Marvin?
No, that's about it. Always leave them wanting more, Tom.
Always leave them wanting more.
And I think we probably hit that mark 7 minutes ago.
Yeah. You guys are probably going, wow, I didn't even, no one's watched it to this far, so.
That's we really need to do that. We need to start putting something like at the end.
Problem is they'll fast forward to the end.
Well, I don't know, we need to come up with something. I don't know.
We live in that world now. You can do that.
Exactly, right?
We also have to wrap it up because the battery light isn't quite blinking. Oh. But
it's getting there.
So part of the deal was is when you do wedding photography is you have duplicates of everything, double cameras, double lenses, and everything else. So I sold my duplicate equipment. One of the things that's missing, and it's probably at some bride's house, is the battery charger. Because sometimes you don't have the battery charged and you put the battery in to charge it when you get there at the wedding as opposed to doing it beforehand. And it actually wasn't me that did this. It was a friend who didn't have stuff charged. So I only had one charger even though having multiple cameras. And so to close the deal on selling all the equipment I had for sale, I had to throw in a charger. Because the person said, oh yeah, I got Canon equipment too, so I already have a charger, I don't need it. When they messaged me about buying it, I'm like, I'm missing the charger, you can buy them online. Well, they had the wrong Canon charger, so I had to give them mine. So I said, well, my 2 batteries are charged, and that should be enough. Well, then I've been filming the last couple days, and so burning up these cameras. Because what you don't realize is there's a lot of footage we shoot, and then I try to make it more concise before I give it to you, and then some things just don't work. I shot an entire thing and it was completely wrong. If I get a fact wrong, I rewatch the video and I'm like, these are wrong facts. I try to be very fact-based on these. We also started building the original FreeNAS video, and it's wrong too.
Oops.
We didn't realize it wouldn't fit in the case, the original case. I don't know. There was some major oversight about when we started assembling it. So there's actually 2 FreeNAS videos. One that didn't get done because we realized nothing would fit after Tom did, the whole talk and hung over a case that wouldn't fit the stuff that was sitting in front of me. And glaringly, someone would have pointed that out if I would have ended the video there going, hey, the final build looks different than what you said you were going to do. So
that video is going to become like a bootleg, like the Star Wars holiday show. People are just going to be clamoring. They're going to be like, how do I get my hands on that video?
Yeah, it's Tom doing something dumb. So anyways, the battery's blinking, so thanks for watching. Like, subscribe. Oh, also tomorrow I'm doing a live stream. So if you're watching this, whatever date this is published on, tomorrow I'm doing a live stream of Crosstalk Solutions. I'm also reaching out to other YouTubers to do some cross-channel promotion stuff and things.
For reference, today is June 15th, so on June 16th.
I am so glad somebody knows what today is.
Doing the thing.
Doing the thing.
The what he just said.
Yep. All right. Thanks for watching. Pew, 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 pew. Pew, 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 pew.